When you adopt a child from China, the child you adopt is supposed to file annual reports with China, written reports. And those reports are supposed to be about their upbringing and well being for China to document what they still view as a citizen of China. Even though you've adopted the child is now an American citizen, the Chinese still believe they are theirs. There have been multiple reports of these kids going back to China to see their ancestral homeland, and China not allowing them to leave China. About 2 years ago, with the rise of TikTok in the United States, China began requiring families to file video documentation. So they actually want videos of the kids, no longer written statements or photographs. They want actual videos of the kids making statements about what they're learning and their well-being and things like that to document their existence in the United States. The Chinese are building a visual video facial recognition system of the kids who have been adopted inside the United States. Now you extrapolate that to TikTok, where the Chinese are doing the same thing. Suddenly, they're not only able to monitor kids who have been adopted from China based on the facial recognition confirmed through the filings of the parents. And by the way, the adoption agencies tell the parents, if you don't comply with this, we lose our license and we can't rescue more kids from China. So the parents are guilted into continuing to do it. Otherwise, the adoption agency is shut down by the Chinese and denied the ability to adopt. So now they've got two tracks, the Chinese. They build a facial recognition database of these kids, confirmed by the parents for who they are, and then they track those kids' faces through TikTok and follow those kids around in life. And they're doing it with other Americans as well, possibly accessing the microphone, possibly accessing beyond the camera, possibly accessing the data, possibly doing all sorts of nefarious things. And then also consider the amount of personnel in the federal government or in the military who are using these, maybe on a military installation. Then suddenly the microphone on their phone comes live and they don't know it. The Chinese are deeply nefarious. You cannot believe TikTok's denials on this stuff. TikTok is owned by a subsidiary of the Chinese military, which is part of the Chinese Communist Party. And the Chinese are banking on facial recognition technology to be able to control their citizenry around the world, including kids who are no longer Chinese citizens, but the Chinese still believe they are because they were adopted out of China. You should not be using TikTok. And it actually is a pretty damning indictment on Vivek Ramaswamy to say, well, the kids are using TikTok, so I'm on TikTok. He doesn't criticize China ever. Listen to Vivek Ramaswamy. He talks about, I'm going to be tough on China, but then he gives you some gobbledygook, so it sounds like he's tough on China when what he said was just word salad. It is notable that all of these candidates were condemnatory of China and TikTok and what it can use TikTok for, except Ramaswamy, who chose to distract from his non-answer by bringing up Nikki Haley's daughter and attacking Nikki Haley's daughter on stage. China is using TikTok to spy on Americans. And you may say, well, there's no reason that they should want to spy on me. You say that now. But what about your family? What about your ties to others who may be around you while you're using your phone? What about the China gathering geolocation data? All of those sorts of things you're not thinking of. Stay off TikTok. TikTok is bad. It's used by the Chinese military. It is a Trojan horse. I assume you all know the story of the Trojan horse. It is bad. Don't use it.